Hello, this is Pinheadius, and today we're doing my first path for exploration, or technically second since I did one off camera before I even started the challenge. But anyways, yeah, this is my first path towards exploration of Act 7. And of course, the path I'm taking is the Can't Stop, Won't Stop path in 7.1.1. And of course, it features heavily on Mystic Champions. I have two champions who rely heavily on heavy attacks. So, yeah, this is going to be a cakewalk with two cakewalkers for this path, since literally the second node is Muscle Wizard, which makes knocking down the opponent pretty good for Mystics. Not so friendly for other champions, but it is friendly for Mystic champions, because every knockdown gives you an unstoppable buff, and while Unstoppable is active, you gain fairy buffs with each consecutive knockdown Unstoppable is active. Now, why I'm stacking Unstoppables as well is unknown. It's possibly that every other knockdown is giving me an Unstoppable, and that's why. But whatever the case may be, doesn't matter. I still got the damage increase, got through the fights much faster. The first fight was Howard the Duck, and of course, because stunning him a lot gives him a lot of fairy buffs. Basically, it would have been either Diablo or Doom that could have taken him down. And since I didn't want to screw up the rotation with Doom, because I easily screw up if there are too many buffs being nullified off the opponent, then Diablo was my second best choice, because I didn't have to stick to a strict rotation. That being said, after that fight was done, here we have Cole Obsidian, which Doom just slaps the living heck out of, giving him a lot of Furies and Unstoppables. Here comes the special 3 to stun him, and then the rotation proceeds into a special 1, and then into a special 3. Must be a later fight where it was a special 1, special 2. Anyways, yeah. I have Mystic Dispersion at rank 5, so of course that mastery is going a long ways on this path. Here's the next fight. And this is the one that I do with Hercules. Because I was like, you know what? Let's be a little smart about this and use someone else. Ironically, I was being dumb because this fight took longer because I didn't take in one of my two Mystics. Hercules I had for the boss, but I figured why not gain a couple of charges. Well, here are my 3 charges. But as you'll soon find out, it was all for nothing. Really, I just wasted time in this fight. Meanwhile, I did eventually get the hang of the fight, almost dying. I mean, like, almost dying. And that's where his signature ability came in clutch. I'm glad I have him past Sig 100. I think he's at, what, Sig 115, 117? Because I keep dumping a lot of signature stones into him. And of course, recently it did have a big jump in Sig level because of my Act 7 completion. That's when I completed Act 7 like 2 to 3 weeks ago. Now, he's just doing better, honestly. But this fight was taking way too long because I wasn't proper. Let's just say that I was being a little small-brained, a little smooth-brained about it, and decided to take in a non-Mystic because Muscle Wizard would have helped out here. Except that it didn't because I used the wrong champion. Still got through the fight fast enough, but still, damage was done. Anyways, Yeah, so I do get through this Doc Ock. I do not restart the path after doing it because I was like, you know what, maybe I can complete this despite having screwed myself over. And I did. I did get used to playing into the can't stop, won't stop note. Because the third note is fight or flight, which was the key to using the Cosmic Champion. Thing is about this path is that you could use any champion as long as you knock down the opponent a lot with your mystics, or you're a little dodgy with your non-mystics, because fight or flight is very useful for your non-mystic champions, and your mystic champions benefit from Muscle Wizard. And of course, there is a couple of champions in the contest that don't benefit from Fight or Flight or Muscle Wizard at all. But they do have their uses. And honestly, the piece of utility in their kit that prevents them from gaining the unstoppable buff is, well, frankly, a good piece of utility, just not for this node. And you know one of them already because he was the #1 Alliance War attacker for a little while. Yes, Spider-Man 2099. And Red Guardian if you forgot the other one. Anyways, I complete this fight with Dr. Doom. Okay, so that last fight was a cakewalk, using Doom for Beast because of Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Muscle Wizard, and Fight or Flight. And now we are on to Venom the Duck, the Lovecraftian abomination of the contest. There are a couple of ugly creatures in the contest, but to be frank, it doesn't matter. So here we've got Doom slapping the crap out of this symbiote like it's none of his business. And then he's gonna throw a special 3, then a special 1, and then a special 2, and then this fight is gonna be over. There's a special 3, the basic combo rotation, special 1, special 2. Here we go. Now these are potent incinerates. 5k to take. Anyways. Yeah, they're potent, and of course I'm going through this duck like there's no tomorrow. And a couple of special ones in the end for good effect. Yard, heavy, boom, done. Then we're on to the next fight. Legends Quest started. AQ take day 5. So yeah, I'm gonna be in there soon enough. Alright, here's Colossus. He starts with a few pops. So throwing in Diablo wouldn't be a bad choice. And here we go for... This is the first of 2 fights that gives me gets me through the objective for the Summoner Camp Watsits. What a disappointing event compared to the actual Summoner Appreciation. Kabam should bring that back. I know it doesn't give them as much money and they want as many avenue sources as possible within this game. It's their moneymaker after all, and too many people are heavily deep in this game. To be frank, I try to limit my money spend since I got my job, which means the only things I buy are a couple of daily cards, the subscription ones like the collector's units and the energy refill one still hasn't come back. I want it to come back so I can use it, because it would be very helpful moving forward. Because it was very useful towards getting me through Act 7. Completion, that is. Anyways, I beat Colossus. There's the reward for the summer camp. I got a couple of items in the store because it's that day in the Sumner camp. So I got a couple of items in the Sumner camp store and the resort store too. So, okay, on to the boss. Here we have Yondu. Super masochism feeds of power, rich get richer. So, who do I use? Not Magneto has effects, but he's here for his pre-fight. And then I use the Odin pre-fight synergy to give my champions just enough buffs to gain power. Now, of course, I was considering using a second buff on Angela, and I'm like, you know what, maybe not. So of course, with only 2 fights, I parry in the beginning and take a bleed to the face. At least I regen. Then I am pseudo damage over time immune after that, so he can't use his effects against me whatsoever moving forward. And yeah, he does steal my armor buffs, but I managed to keep the dance going long enough to make it where that doesn't matter because, well, armor ups are helpful. He'll steal the armor up buffs, but then I throw a special bite into him and he's like, oh shoot. So of course, not all of my special ones are successful. I go through a few different rotations. I forgot the foresight note was there until I saw the passive fury. I intercepted, so now I'm moving in towards using intercepts. As you can see, I use a special key here, lots of damage, another special one from him. If I remember correctly, I don't think he throws a special key whatsoever in this fight. Which is a good thing because I would have died if he did, because I've thrown enough specials here. I could have been dead. Anyways, so I use full-on combos, I use intercept-based combos, special 2s, special 1s, at some point a special 3 as well. Of course, here is probably where yep, this is the black special one. That's a successful one. And what confuses me is how this AI decided to be so dumb against me. He could have completely wiped my behind at this fight and threw a full combo into my face. But he didn't. Instead, he just punched me and back off, and then I just punished him for doing so. I was glad that he didn't, but it confused me, nonetheless. Here I'm trying to bait out a special 1. And of course he's not giving in, so I threw a couple mediums. And of course, because of the foresight, I try to throw a special 3 as soon as he's done with his special 1. And so of course I did, and managed to get the damage bonus. I managed to throw it just in time. Anyways, yeah, that's the end of this fight. Thanks for watching.